Texas is no big deal other than to Texas fans. This is not a relevant program anymore, Greeny. And go back to 2013 when Texas people fired Mack Brown. He didn't resign. He was shown the door. The same Mack Brown who now has North Carolina in the top 10. Texas can't even win its own state anymore. Lost two of its best players to Alabama. It's pathetically behind Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. It's way, way behind their biggest rival up in Norman, Oklahoma. Texas is fighting for third at best in its own league, and I don't really see a clear path. I think Sark is a very good coach, but let's be honest, Hembo could have coached that offense last year at Alabama.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Wow, what a horrible take that was made by Paul Finebaum. Clearly, Paul Finebaum was wrong about how Steve Sarkisian would perform at Texas. This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about how Steve Sarkisian turned Texas into major SEC contenders. Texas is currently 10-1 on the season and has a golden opportunity to reach the SEC championship game for the first time ever in program history. All Texas needs to do is beat Texas A&M, and they are in the SEC championship game against Georgia. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is. Will Texas advance to making the SEC championship game this season? Absolutely. I believe they will come out victorious tomorrow against Texas A&M. I'm excited about this matchup occurring. It's going to happen tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is going to be a big test for Quinn Ewers in Texas. A lot of people have been critical of Quinn Ewers this season because he hasn't been making a lot of statistical leaps. I'm getting a little bit concerned that Quinn Ewers has not been better at the quarterback position for Texas. However, I've actually been watching a lot of film for Quinn Ewers at Texas, and I say there's not a lot to be worried about for Quinn Ewers in Texas. Yes, we're used to Quinn Ewers putting up big numbers in big games on a consistent basis. That's why a lot of people loved Quinn Ewers heading into the year. That's why a lot of people thought Quinn Ewers could be a potential #1 overall pick this year. I know he hasn't played like one this year, but we know the talent is there. We know Quinn Ewers is extremely accurate with the football in his hands. We know Quinn Ewers has a cannon for an arm. We know Quinn Ewers is capable of making big-time plays in big-time games. However, this past month has made me feel nervous watching Quinn Ewers play because Quinn Ewers has not been himself at the quarterback position. Ever since he has returned from his oblique injury, something has not clicked with Quinn Ewers at the quarterback position. He's been missing easy reads. He's been holding on to the ball too long. He takes too many sacks. Of course, Quinn Ewers is not a mobile quarterback. He's never been a mobile quarterback. His weaknesses are starting to get displayed at the quarterback position. That's why a lot of people are crying for Arch Manning to come in at the quarterback position. However, I have no issue with what Texas is trying to do right now at the quarterback position. I believe they've handled this quarterback situation as correctly as possible. The reason why I say that is because Arch Manning does not have the experience necessary for Texas to potentially win a national championship this season. If Arch Manning wasn't the backup quarterback at Texas, no one would be complaining about Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is easily one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Is he having an amazing season statistically? Absolutely not. Are there things Quinn Ewers needs to improve at the quarterback position? Absolutely. But when Quinn Ewers has needed to make a big play for Texas, he's done exactly that. An example of what I'm talking about would be Texas going up against Arkansas. I remember they were playing in a hostile environment. It was a defensive struggle. It was 13-10 in the fourth quarter. Texas needed to score to pull away from Arkansas. And what did Quinn Ewers do? He led his team on a long drive, and he threw the game-sealing touchdown at the goal line. That's how Texas beats Arkansas on the road by 10 points. If you told a lot of people that Texas would be 10-1 at this point in juncture of the season, a lot of people would have been happy. They would have said, man, Quinn Ewers is having a pretty good year. And if you were at any other college program, a lot of people would be saying, man, Quinn Ewers is a solid quarterback in his own right. A lot of people hype up Jalen Moreau and Carson Beck at the quarterback position, but guess what? Those two guys haven't worked out. At least Quinn Ewers has done his job correctly for Texas. I also want to talk about what Steve Sarkisian said when regarding what the meaning of culture was. I found his take rather interesting. It's one of the reasons why I believe Texas is one of the best teams in college football. Roll the film.
I think the first thing about culture culture is organic. It is not a sign up in your building. It's not a t-shirt you wear. It's not breaking the team down and saying, hey, culture on 3. I think culture is organic, right? It manifests itself with the relationships that you build.
I agree, Steve Sarkisian. That was a great answer that you gave to the media when they asked you that question about culture. And I really believe that the players at Texas fully believe in what they're doing. There are no questions about what is going on outside the locker room. All the guys are locked in. Those kind of moments are going to lead you to victories more often than not. They're going to go ahead and beat Texas A&M, even though they're playing on the road, because I know Quinn Ewers is an excellent leader of men. He's going to get the guys fired up. He's going to get the offensive line to give him some time in the pocket. Those guys really love to protect Quinn Ewers a lot. They're going to be able to run the football. They've got Jerrick Gibson. They've got Jaydon Blue. They've got Wisner. They've got a lot of weapons at Texas. They can be able to run the football effectively. And then, of course, you've got Isaiah Bond. He's going to be one of the better receivers for Texas. They're going to need him to play like a real #1 wide receiver. He hasn't necessarily been playing great for Texas. He's had his moments, but he needs to be more consistent. I believe he can do that against Texas A&M. And, of course, their tight end is pretty good. And Gunnar Helm. Texas offense has done a good job protecting the quarterback since the Georgia game. I remember Steve Sarkisian called out the offensive line and challenged them to play better after losing to Georgia in the regular season. And what has the offensive line done since then? They've responded and done a great job opening up running lanes in the run game and being able to protect Quinn Ewers at the quarterback position. Those guys take their job very seriously at Texas. You also look at how Texas defense has gotten a lot better. I remember when Georgia played against Texas earlier in the year, Texas got punked big time on both sides of the field. The defensive line was soft. The offensive line did a terrible job protecting Quinn Ewers. Therefore, that was causing Quinn Ewers to make some mistakes he normally wouldn't make. And obviously, Texas lost to Georgia by 15 points. But ever since that game, Steve Sarkisian decided to challenge their offensive line by telling them to play better. And you know what they've done to make the offensive line play better? Running the football more. They know Quinn Ewers can get his 300 yards passing if he really wanted to get those numbers. But they also know that in order to win an SEC championship this year, they're going to need the offensive line to step up. They've helped the offensive line gain confidence. And I truly believe that if Texas were to beat Texas A&M and get to the SEC championship game, they're going to beat Georgia this time around because their offensive line is a lot tougher than it was the first time around, while their defensive line is playing better each and every week. I love the way how Texas has been playing as a football team. Yeah, Quinn Ewers is losing out on some of his stats, but that's not too much of a worry for me because we all know Quinn Ewers is capable of stepping up in big games. We've seen him do it at numerous occasions for Texas. We saw him do it last year against Bama. We saw him do it in the Big 12 championship game, and we saw him play well against Washington. Yeah, they lost that playoff game, but that wasn't because of Quinn Ewers. That was because the defense let down Texas, and Quinn Ewers is going to step up his game. He's going to play well against Texas A&M. I'm excited about what he can do. Texas A&M is one of the hardest places to play in college football, but Quinn Ewers is going to get the job done. Yeah, he's playing on a bum ankle, but he's one of the toughest quarterbacks that I've ever seen play at the college level, and I believe he's going to go out there and have a good game. And when big plays are available for Quinn Ewers to take, he is absolutely going to make them. They're going to need Isaiah Bond to step up his game and play like a true #1 receiver. I believe that happens. The final score of this game is going to be something along the lines of 27-17 Texas. I believe it's going to be close for 3.5 quarters, but I believe Texas will ultimately pull away with a late touchdown, making it a 2-score game. I believe Texas is going to come out victorious by 10 points. They're going to get the job done against Texas A&M. I'm confident that Texas will go ahead and win this ball game. So that is why Texas will advance to the SEC championship game this season, as they will beat Texas A&M by the score of 27-17. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I'm going to shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That will be for the @DusNasTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DusNasTran, and that's Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DusNasTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.